The purpose of a question. Now, you may or may not already know this, but this is definitely something that we have not been taught in this reality. We've been taught to listen, we've been taught to give, we've been taught to not receive and not to ask questions a lot of the time. So, the purpose of a question is to create more awareness. Now, I learned this from Access Consciousness a few years ago, and I didn't think much of it. I thought, man, these tools are pretty easy. Like, if I asked, who does this belong to? Or how does it get any better than this? Then, or what else is possible, then how much can that really create for me? That's just a little bit ridiculous. But I thought, you know what? I like to try things. So I started doing it, and oh my gosh, everything just turned upside down for me. So I want to share some questions with you today. I also have written a whole lot for you so you can have them with you and you can practice them or you can create your own. But a question is so empowering. It is always about being in the question. And once you start really getting into the habit of asking questions, you literally start being the question. So what would it take for us to be the question all the time so then we can be abundance, be love, be joy, be money, be sex, be beauty, be everything that we desire? We can actually be that. But it all starts with questions, which is like an invitation to the universe. And the universe goes, thank you so much for asking. Thank goodness. Because now that you've asked me, I can start giving to you. It's a universal law. Ask and then you shall receive. Okay, so I'm going to share some of my favorite ones with you now. Who does it belong to? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? They're all from Access Consciousness. And oh my gosh, you say, who does this belong to? And like we've discussed in previous videos, and then it can actually go back to that person. When we say, how does it get any better than this? Then the universe goes, well, I'll show you how. And you'll start noticing, if you start utilizing this, that the people around you use different words, and they'll say things like, well, you got $100. It doesn't get any better than that. Boom, limitation. Instead, you say, how does it get any better than this? If someone is in an accident or someone's sick, you say, how does it get any better than this? If you stub your toe, you say, how does it get any better than this? Because it can only get better. It's a law of attraction. Okay, so what is this? What do I do with it? Can I change it? If so, how can I change it? They are the 4 questions to change absolutely anything, which we're going to go into deeper and later on in different modules. So what would it take? What would it take to have more love? What would it take to have more abundance? What would it take to have great relationships? What would it take to have more money that I would know what to do with? What would it take to have more joy every day? What would it take? That is such a great question, and fill in the end. Okay, so what can I add into my life right now? What can I add into my business right now? What can I add into my relationships right now? What is so right about me that I am not getting? And I utilized this today on a one-to-one call when my client was telling me about how she hasn't done as much as she wanted to do in the last year, and she could have accomplished so much more. I said, but what is so right about you that you're not getting? And I utilize that with myself also. Go, what is so right about me? And the funny story, which you may have already heard about if you follow me, is that I completely and utterly flooded my laundry one day. The laundry was so flooded that the water had come through from the upstairs bathroom all the way down the walls into my laundry. And there was water, ankle deep. There was cords everywhere. My bathroom was also flooded because my kids had decided that they wanted to bath their toys in the sink. And I decided that I wasn't being a good enough wife or mum, so I was going to cook a really healthy dinner. I could do everything because, I needed to be like other mums, and I needed to have dinner on the table at 6 and have the house tidy for when my husband came home. Who was I kidding? It's so not me. So anyway, I chose to do this and I wanted to do the washing as well. So I let my kids just do whatever they wanted to do, trying to be a good mum. And I go downstairs to do my washing and I go, what is that noise? And I went, oh my God. And I noticed everything was flooded. So the old Victoria, without this knowledge, would have gone, oh my gosh, what is so wrong about me? Look at me, I'm a fool, kind of thing. But instead, I literally was like, who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness. What is so right about me I'm not getting? How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? And I started throwing all these freaking questions at this mess, going, I'm definitely not going to be domestic goddess today. And then the funniest thing happened. I started laughing because I got this awareness, just popped in from nowhere. And I went, what is so right about me I'm not getting? And then I went, I am so freaking potent. I asked about 2 days ago, I said, what would it take, because I'm always in the question, what would it take for my bathroom cupboards to get clean, for me to clean my floors and to clean my laundry, because it was all just feeling a bit icky and it needed a clean. And I went, I'm so potent that I did that all from a thought, because my bathroom got clean, my laundry got clean, and now here I am having to mop up the mess but it's all been cleaned for me because the water had done the job. So what is so right about me I'm not getting, and what is so right about you're not getting? Maybe you're just so much more potent than you ever gave yourself credit for. So what is the reflection I'm seeing right now? So someone's really triggering you and annoying you, and they're like right in front of you, and you're like, oh, I'm so triggered. What is this? This person is doing my head in. So you ask the question, what is the reflection right now? Because you think, I'm nothing like them. Oh my gosh, they're being this, or this. But there is something in that person that is the same as you. There's something you need to look about yourself to. So with it, maybe your children, they may be triggering you. So what is the reflection there? And I do this with my son because he's so much like me. He triggers me all the time. And I know if he's acting a certain way energetically, it's because I'm being a certain way energetically. So what is the reflection that I'm seeing right now? And what is the truth in this situation? That's another one. What is the truth in this situation? Because when we use the word truth, what is the truth here? Are you telling me the truth? Truth. Did you do that? And you use those words of truth. People have to tell the truth. So it'd be interesting if you went into a shop or you went to buy a car and you said, truth, is this the cheapest you can give it to me? And instantly they'll say, oh, actually, no, I can knock another 10% off or whatever. So utilize the word truth a lot and ask yourself a question when you're quite confused. You might go, what is the truth of this situation? Another question is, am I okay? It's really important. And as we'll go through these different weeks, you will notice that I will be really emphasizing about you, because all of this is about you. You're the creator, the director, and the producer of your entire life. And I will be repeating this because I want you to really get this is about you. So one of the main questions that I utilize in my coaching with my one-on-ones is, are you okay? Is it light and expansive or heavy and contracted? Are you really okay? Right, so what do I require? That is another one. What do I require? What do I require? How much of your life have you worried about other people and if they're okay? How many of you have ever suffered a little bit of depression alongside your partner, probably because you're empathing on them and you care about if they're okay, but not if you're okay? How many have you done that? So ask the question, am I okay? Always put yourself first, which we'll go into deeper later as well. Now, another one is, am I choosing this? So you chose this program. That's why you're here watching this. You chose it. And it felt light and expansive, didn't it? Otherwise, you wouldn't have chosen it. And I would have coached you through whether or not you should choose it or not, or how you feel about it, because it was always your choice. So someone says to you, hey, you want to go to the beach, or want to go for a run, or you want to go camping, or want to go out for dinner? Ask the question, am I choosing this? Is it light and expansive or heavy and contracted? Am I choosing this? Could be a job even. And don't let your brain take over that, because if it's light and expansive and your gut says yes, Always follow that, because you never know. There might be some gold underneath the end of that rainbow. So what can I simplify? Now, this is a totally like a life coaching question right here. What can I simplify? Now, I'm all about creative chaos and fitting as much light and expansive, joyful, abundant things into my life, but it always comes down to balance. And if you're running out of time in a day, you feel like there's just too much on your plate, what can I simplify to make my life easier? So that question is really good to ask. Now, another question is, what can I be here? What energy, space, and consciousness can you be at any given time? So let's just drop all of those points of view on who you think you are. So if I said, are you willing to be the demon bitch from hell? How does it make you feel? Light and expansive, or heavy and contracted? I know the first time I asked one of my clients that, she went, no, I'm nice. And I went, that's a really interesting point of view that you have there. A year later, she came to me the other day and I said to her, so what can you be here? Are you willing to be the demon bitch from hell? And she went, yes, I am willing to be the demon bitch of hell. And we laughed so hard, because I said to her, do you remember the first time you came for a session with me and you didn't know what that meant? And she went, yes. And oh my gosh, I've come so far in that year. So now her relationships are great. She doesn't get walked on over anymore. She is building her own new house the way she wants it. She chooses for her, so she says yes and no to different jobs that come to her, or yes and no who she wants to hang out with, because before she was a yes person. Yes. I can do it, so I will do it. And then she realized that to be a yes person, to be a happy person, she didn't have to say yes all the time. So it is all about what energy you're choosing to be. If someone came in and they were going to hurt your family, what energy do you need to be right then at that space? You need to be that strong energy where you can protect your family. And then other times you need to be the feminine energy and be the gentle energy, where the loving and nurturing energy. So that's why, what can I be here is such a good question. What energy can I be? What contribution can I be right here? Who can contribute to me? Who can contribute to my business? Who can contribute to my life? Who can contribute to my joy? Who can contribute to my finances? So that's another one of my favorite questions. So I do have a million more questions. I'd love for you guys to chuck some questions, make some up and put them in the Facebook page, and let's have a play around with this. Let's get into the question, make it a habit, so then we can become the question, and then the universe will provide us with as much as we require, as much as we allow to come into our lives. So what would it take for us to be an allowance of what the universe is willing to gift us, and what we are willing to receive from the world, from each other, and from ourselves? See you in the next video.